Kelly, are you here?
Kelly, are you there?
Are you here?
Talk about a ball of energy. Here she comes.
All right, so Kelly,
Brown.
she's in Minnesota. She's part of our Access group. She is a boss on Instagram. So she's going to talk all things Instagram for us. Just some things about Kelly. She's been in real estate for 9 years. She's ranked number 10 in volume in Minnesota for the last 2 years. That's a pretty big deal. She's built her entire business on social media with no paid ads. So these houses are being sold from social media. She's got a hashtag Girl Gang, very important, hashtag Girl Gang. 9 women, just sold 100 million year to date in 2024, sells 4.2 homes per week. And she focuses exclusively on listings for herself, and then she has a buyer's agent. So her team is called Brown and Company Residential. And then she personally ranks in the top 1% of the Twin City realtors. So for over 9 years, she's been dedicated to building a system and brand that surpasses a typical real estate experience. And she says that her game changer is that she's marketing homes. Her specialty is marketing homes. So by being present and visible on social media, that's what she's able to sell to her clients and say, look what I can do for you on the listing side. So her goal is to, have social media strategies that create buzz, drive traffic, and attract more offers, ultimately maximizing the seller's profits. They're obviously very dedicated to what they do. Their listings consistently sell faster and for more money. So let's give a round of applause. Welcome, Kelly.
Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Kelly, are you there? Oh, I see her.
Yay.
There's my
See
friend.
me?
We're gonna pin you.
Hold on. We're gonna pin you so we can see you.
Okay, and can I record? Will you guys give us permission to record? Well, there we
For
go.
sure.
I think we're recording you. Are we
Yes.
recording?
Huh?
Yeah, we're recording too.
But
We
we
can
can
see.
Two here so I can see. Hi, everyone from Minnesota. It is not always snow here. It is nice outside. We're gonna try to pin this so I can see you guys. Oh, and then can you see me? So thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it. So I feel like so much was said. I hope I'm actually able to add some value. I've been doing this for 9 years now. Can't do it, just do that. So I've been in real estate for 9 years. You hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been in real estate for 9 years now. I changed careers when I was 40. I used to be a wedding photographer forever. And then I just got burnt out and I changed careers. And at that time when I did it, I didn't have a lot of money to, get paid ads or all the things. So literally my thing, and I was never on social media before. I really wasn't on Facebook. I didn't like it. I'm not somebody who's like, take a selfie and show myself. It wasn't my thing, but it was free. So I started doing videos and it just got noticed and I kept doing it more and more. And even 9 years later now, it is for sure my one thing that I believe in open houses too. That's helped me grow a lot, but social media has been huge to help me grow my business. I now have Allie is standing by me now. I now have somebody helping me do it because I think one of the things is you produce and you do all this stuff and then it's hard to get out there. You got a lot on your phone. You got a lot, and how are you going to get it out there? So that's been something for me over time now. I'm so dedicated to this and growing my business that we really take time and thoughtful in getting this out there. And I will say, I hope I can add, you guys, there were so many awesome things said already on here. I hope I can add some value to you. I'll just say that it literally took me 2 years to do it where I was getting leads. It took that much time. And I think if you take some tips and tricks from other people, you can do it quicker, but it's not always super quick. We spend hours a day. Literally, I spend hours a day either creating it or putting it out there. But if it's my one thing, I think it's always about lead gen for me. Like you gotta, I remember when I started this business, they're like, you want to door knock, do you want to do these things? Like you got to figure out how you're going to lead gen, right? So I door knocked one home one time and then I never did it again. I love people who are willing to do different things. It's just something that I didn't want to do it. So I showed up on social media and I'd say it was interesting in the beginning because I wouldn't get a ton of likes on a video, but then I'd be somewhere I have boys, you know, I'd be at like a baseball game or something. So someone would say to me, oh, I saw that video you did on that. What about that house? And I'd start getting questions about stuff. And I'm like, shoot, you know, that video actually only got 5 likes, but people are watching it, even if they didn't like it. So it took a little bit. I think that's the biggest thing, that it's hard because we're all really busy. But if you're willing to put in the time and figure out a system for you, it can be absolutely a game changer. So about my team, so there were 9 women. I never really meant to build a team, and it just kind of happened. And now we have this amazing girl gang. Yes, we call it the girl gang. And here are, so there's 9 of us. And we literally don't do any paid ads. None of us, all of us, everyone has to fish for their own leads. And everyone does it on social media. So not just me. If you guys want to follow anyone who's also killing it, Taya. So Taya Belich. So THEA on social media. She gets multiple leads a week on Instagram. I can't even say that I get that many leads. She gets multiple leads a week on Instagram. Sarah Melby Thomas is my buyer's agent. If you want to follow Sarah. So Sarah Melby Thomas, SARA. She came to me 3 years ago. She used to be on a big team of paid leads. So she never did social media. She never needed to. She got whatever. She switched over 3 years ago. Now she's selling. She is almost at, I think she's almost at 30 million this year. Granted, she's my buyer's agent too, but that's sold and closed already this year. It's a lot. She's completely swapped over her business and is now getting leads from social media. So I guess my biggest thing to say on that is, if you do put in the time and find your way, it might not be my way or Tina's way or Nina's way, or, you know, find your way and your platform that works for you. Like, it can really be a game changer. So you guys want to know actionable stuff, right? So let's see here. I do want to say this. I started doing this. Obviously, you start from nothing, and you're starting to do it because you're hoping to get buyer and seller leads, right? And that's why I still do it. I'm still hoping people see me in buyer seller leads. I also want people to get to know me, right? I mean, there's a lot of conversation about that. There's been conversation. Nina was bringing it up today about, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to show up perfect. Just show up. I absolutely believe that. Sometimes it's hard, right? Because you're like, oh, I look like crap. I sound like crap, whatever. I do believe in putting on a filter. I put on a filter all the time. I use the Instagram filter all the time. I'll be like, oh my God, I look so tragic right now. But then you put on a slight filter, you know, not the crazy one. Then you're like, ah, it's all right, you know, and then you show up. So I also believe it's such a medium for people to get to know you. So when I go to listing presentations, a lot of times I've never met these people, but they all feel like they know me. And they're like, a lot of times they're only meeting with me. And for the other people that I never got to the table, maybe they're not the right fit. They saw me, they didn't like me, they think I talk too much, too quick, or whatever. So I didn't get to the table, and that might be okay because I'm really busy, right? So I think you can really find your people too when you're on social media, and people find you from that. They already kind of like you. We just had a client appreciation the other day. Oh my gosh, that was, Allie, how many people did we have there? A lot. Over 500 people at a pumpkin patch. We just, but it was really cool because a lot of these people have become like friends and stuff too, right? Like, they found me, they like me. So you attract your people on social. I think it can be so smart from that standpoint too. But the other thing I'm going to bring up, which has been huge, which I never really realized how big of a deal this is, but if you build up your social channels and you want to be a listing agent, so I exclusively just sold listings for the last 3 years. It is a value proposition huge for when you go on a presentation. So like later today, I will be going on my listing presentation, and I will pull out something that I talk about every time, which is the top 50 realtors. You guys have seen this like Property Sparks before, how they'll rank people on social media. So I bring this up, top 50 realtors in Minnesota were ranked. 4 of us, by the way, I only got like 12, but the girls on my team, 4 of us on my team rank in the top 50. And the reason why, if I'm talking to a seller, the reason why this is important for you is because I'm going to blow up your home on social media. I'm not just gonna be the agent who puts you on the MLS, does some open houses, takes some photos and prays that you sell. I'm gonna actively market you on social media. So on Instagram with my team, we have almost 50,000 followers just on Instagram. That's not including Facebook and the other things we use. So this has now, building up our channels is a value proposition when I'm going into a listing. This is how I'm different. I don't know anyone around here who has done it like this, who can say this about their home being on all these multiple platforms of how we do it. So it's definitely a difference maker in how we do business. So that's why I just say real quick of why I think it's really smart to take the time to do it. And again, one of you guys was talking about, maybe Nina, you were saying like, there's times if you are active enough in this business, there's always something going on to talk about. We're lucky we're in an industry that people want to know about homes. They want to see homes. It's fun. They want to see trends. People want to know about real estate. It's one of those, I mean, it's just one of those, it's awesome that we're in that. So if you show stuff like that, people can get to, people will follow you, find your people. Okay, so adding value, enough about that. Oh, no, actually, this is what I was saying. I forgot what I was saying. It takes time. Nina was saying something, I think, about being in the car. There are times where I just like literally pull out, I'm like, I got an idea. And when I get ideas, I put them in my notes. I use notes all the time. Because otherwise, like one day I'll do my hair, another days I won't, I don't want to do video. And I will do a bunch of videos and I'll look on my notes and I'll look for my comments and then I'll just push them out. But every once in a while, you're just sitting in your car, you just do it. You do what's real. And I think people want to see, and everyone has said this, people want to see the real unperfected stuff too, right? We do pro video for homes and then we do, hey, standing outside here, this is coming soon, Wayzata Schools, $500,000. If you want to know more, I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek. Those get more views than my professional stuff. We do both, but those are what get more views. Okay, pick up buyers that way too. So it takes time. It takes hours a day that I'm spending doing it, but I recommend it. Okay. One thing I want to say before I give some tips too is I think you got to figure out, there's people here that are already owning it. So if you already own it, do you own it on, what is the platform you own it on? To me, I think it's a big demographic thing. My favorite is Instagram. So I love Instagram. However, I'm also 49 and the majority of my people around here are on Facebook. So it's super important to me. Those are my two platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and they don't always cross over, right? So I think it's really important if you're not on and owning a platform yet, you got to figure out where your people are and what you like too. You got to like it, right? I had said in the beginning, I wasn't even on social media before and I didn't even like it. 9 years ago. I've learned to like it. It's fun. You got to find fun in it. You got to like it. Some of it is a job. You just got to get it done, but you got to ultimately like it too. So Instagram and Facebook are my two. I'd encourage you guys, if you're like somewhat on one of them, let's say you're somewhat on Instagram. Now take that to the next level and own it and blow it up. I post at least 2 times a day on Instagram, including stories. So find a way to show up more on your platform. If you already own one platform, add on the next one. So add on one more. That's what I would say. Okay, so I want to say something else too. There's a lot of people, if you guys have noticed, that you can hire now to do content for you. And it's expensive. It can be like $3 to $5 grand a month. I don't know if anyone's doing that, but you can, hire people to do that. My opinion is, in the beginning, 9 years ago, I didn't want to do this myself. So I hired somebody and they were on the East Coast, and it was never like they built my followers. It was never really me. And it was like people from all over following me. It was never truly, I never built this until I owned it and I did it and I showed up as myself and I showed up consistently. So I think you can do, I love the idea, Tina. I actually just emailed you about a VA. Like once you have your content, then you need to put it out. I think that's a great place for a VA, or Allie helps me with that too. But to actually do you and show up as you, and you are creating it and you are coming up with the content, is super important. Okay. Does anyone have any questions yet? I'm going to go through 10 things, actionable items now, which is probably the most important. Is there any questions yet that I should answer from what I said?
Any questions?
Oh, what is it in there?
Just figure the chat.
There's a few in the chat.
Do I recommend a personal or a business account? I think you guys got to figure that out. But for me, okay, so Facebook, I have both. I have my personal Facebook and I have a business Facebook, and I really don't mix them. I've decided now I see people do it different ways and it can work for different people. I've decided on my personal Facebook, I am not going to inundate people with real estate. But do I post my girl gang? Do I post parties? Do I post that we did things? Yes. But it's just a different message on there. And then on Instagram, it's just my business. I used to have a personal, but I just don't have time to flip back and forth. So it's my business. It's curated, it's planned. But I do a lot of on stories, I'll do a lot of personal on stories. I'll get to that in a sec. Okay, I'm gonna keep going through. Is everyone still with me?
We're with you.
Yeah, we're with you.
Okay. Okay, so here are my 10 actionable items that you guys can take. So the first one is adding value. I think if you don't find a way to add value, why are people gonna follow you, right? So for me in the beginning, 9 years ago, I didn't have a team, I didn't have listings, I didn't have open houses, I didn't have anything. So I used new construction all the time. And somebody said this earlier, and I think it's brilliant because they're planned and they're done. And 9 years ago, you literally had to ask a builder for permission. And they're like, sorry, I got to call corporate. And oh my gosh. So I literally did it anyways. But now builders want that, right? Builders most of the time are not great at social media. They want that. So if you go in and you try to add value, for me, a lot of my adding value has been trends. In fact, I just checked an email a second ago. They're like, hey, see this, what do you think of this for my lower level? Do you have contractors, right? So they're watching. So adding value is so easy if you can, literally, if I was newer, I'd be going into a builder at least weekly and showing hey, this is Kelly, I'm standing outside, this is $800,000 in Wayzata schools, let's see what this gives you. And then you show it. Or you're like, hey, what do you think about the tile trend or whatever it is, and you're showing trends. So you don't even have to have your own listings to do it, but I would find your way. My biggest thing in the beginning is find a way to add value. Do people really want to know your volume? Do people really want to know that you sold a house today? Do people really want to know how much money you make? Do people want to know, you can add value, I think, in different ways, right? That talks to them. Trends. People want to see people's houses, the inside of houses. We just had the Parade of Homes recently. Do you guys have the Parade of Homes?
Right now.
Okay. And then it's the artesian tour we have up here, and then the remodelers tour. People don't have time to go in those, right? So if you're showing that, people want to see that stuff, and they want to, comment. They're like, that's 2.7 million. I'd never pay for that or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you're having this conversation. So I would find a way that's authentically you to add value. So that's my tip number one. Number two, let people get to know you. So this was very, very hard for me. Because I was typically the person that's I don't want to show my personal life. My personal life is personal, but I've learned to share a lot of it. It is somewhat curated, and I do have boundaries around it, but a lot of what I do, oh gosh, where was I the other day? So I was somewhere the other day with my boyfriend, Brian, and someone saw the back of my head and they saw my boyfriend. They saw my boyfriend and they came up and they're like, oh, I knew you were here because I saw your boy. I've never met this person, but they're like, you're Brian Padani. It's so funny because people actually like to see that kind of stuff, and they get to know my boyfriend. It's so funny. My boyfriend is a police chief. He is not on social media at all. And it's so funny. We'll show up place and they'll be like, you're Brian Padani. It's so funny. So people do want to see your personal life. I'm careful about it. I don't post everything. I'm going camping this weekend. That's my thing. I'll post some things. I won't post all of it. I have 2 boys. One of them's fine with me posting. The other one doesn't like it. So I'm careful with that. But I'd say people do want to know about your life. I think it's less important that you sold a home today, probably, unless there's an interesting story, because the market's down kind of right now, right? Are you guys less busy right now? We're less busy right now.
Yeah, less sales right now.
Yeah.
Sales are down right now, but things are still selling, right? So I think the message, instead of, I'm going off on a tangent, but I think the lesson of posting like a sold isn't really like I sold a house today. It's just the momentum of showing, hey, this sold in multiple offers for $20,000 over. Or if it didn't, it just sold in multiples. Obviously, we're not lying about anything. It actually sold for 10 grand under in multiples, but we're showing that it was showing momentum. We're showing a story. Okay, but I think it can be important in markets like this because or the lesson is, hey, you know, listen, this one took 54 days to sell, but it sold at original list price. Something where people can see that things are still going on here. It's not frozen. They're like, yeah, things are still going on. So I think there's a way. Anyways, okay, I got off on a tangent. Let me get back. Okay, so number 3 is to use video. It's so hard to get comfortable, right, doing it. But here's the deal. You can record it 50 times and then use the best one. And you can go on Instagram is my favorite. Let's see if I can do this real quick. I love the filter on Instagram. So I'm in here on Instagram. And if you go to like camera, can you guys see this? If you go to like this filter is what I love. Whatever. But anyways, they're on there and they're
What's it called? What's it called? The filter, what's it called?
What is it called? Icon?
Icon?
Icon.
Okay.
I like Icon because it just makes it look a little bit better, but I feel like it's not like totally like, you know.
You're manifesting an icon. Yeah.
Totally manic. Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I like that. But what was my point? My point was, figure out topics and get to them quickly. But video helps people get to know you. Come from value, go back to, you got to add value, figure out what that is. But video is huge and not everyone is comfortable doing it. So you will stand out if you start doing it. And if you one day where you actually get dressed and do your hair, like I'll do a bunch of them in a row. So I'll find my topics and I'll do 3 of them and I'll crank them out. And I'll change my shirt or whatever so it looks different. So, or I'll do one in my car and then I'll stand outside and do the other. So video is key. People want to see you screw up, say the wrong, it's okay. You don't have to have it perfect. But I would just say, you know, getting comfortable with it, you can take a bunch of videos and then use the best one in the beginning, right? So I absolutely 1,000,000% recommend video. Okay, I got to speed this up. Okay. Okay, number 4, don't do what's typical and boring. So I'm going to go back to what I just said. I mean, everyone's like sold, and guilty all day long. Here's another one that's sold. So sometimes I'm doing that because I want to show, oh, these are the 10 that just sold in the last 30 days because I want to show momentum in this market, right? Or I want to create a story that this sold $25,000 over list price or whatever that is. So I try to find some sort of interesting way. And by the way, I'm guilty myself and I keep trying to figure out ways because you want to show that you're like an active agent doing something, right? So, but I find creative ways to do the typical things. Okay, 5, leverage your team's listings. Okay, so I'm going to give this is what we do on our team. So if we have a photo shoot at a home and it's my home, so this is like one of the listings, I'll go to the photo shoot. So me, Kelly Brown, I'm listing home. I go there every time. I do the video and I do something candid and I do something professional and now I have all my stuff. However, everyone on my team can go to the photo shoot too. We plan it like an hour after me. All of them can show up at the home now and own it like it's their own. Okay, they're not saying I'm the listing agent or they're the listing agent necessarily, but they're like, hey, doing photos at this home today. This is coming on the market, $500,000 in Plymouth. You know, let me give you a sneak peek. And then that whole time they can do 4 to 5 more videos. So they have it to use throughout the whole week. So this just listed today, giving you a sneak peek that's just listed. Next video. Doing an open house today. Let's say they're not even doing the open house. Someone else from the team is doing an open house today. Fine. They can still say open house today, 11 to 1, stop by, let me give you a sneak peek. So for us, a lot of our open houses, yes, they're in person and they're important, but at least half of it, if not more, is showing it on social media, showing that we're busy, showing a home. People want to see homes. They're like, oh, that home was 500, that home was 800. People want to see it. So leverage your team's listings. If you're not doing that, if that's not what you're doing with your culture of your team, but maybe you can ask somebody, hey, that's your listing. Can I show up? Can I help you promote it? You're helping them promote it. So if you don't have listings in the beginning, there's ways to, show stuff. And again, on our team, I want my team to do that because I want more eyes on my properties. So my sellers know that for that next hour, I'm there for an hour. And then for the next hour, my team's going to show up and now they're going to put it on their platform. Complete value add from my listings. Okay, where was I? Number 6, when you post stuff, tag your clients. So if it's their home, tag them. If it's a buyer and you have your sold sign, tag them. Maybe you're doing that already, but you want people to repost that and you want additional follows. So make sure you're clients. One of our questions in the beginning is, are you okay if we tag you, and can we get your handles if we don't have them already and we haven't figured it out? Okay. Number 7, show homes people are curious. Okay, so we kind of already talked about that. Creative homes, that kind of stuff. Obviously, people want, so my price point of selling homes, I'm a lot in like the 7 to 900, maybe 6 to 900, okay? But 6 to 900, everyone wants to see like what's $1.5 million, what's 2 million. So I try to, I'm not showing on the Creative Homes, we had plenty on Lake Minnetonka that are like 6 million, and not really going to those and showing those, although that would be interesting. I'm focusing more on the step above because people want to see that for the trends. And that's why people follow me a lot of times. They want to see those trends. They want to mimic things. Number 8, buyers photos with them tell stories they want to repost. Sorry, that's kind of a repeat. So when you always make sure you have a sold sign. People want that, right? People want those fun photos. I'd probably take a selfie and get one too, so you can show that you were there. But tell their story instead of just sold. Maybe you're telling their story. So excited, met these guys over social media. They moved here from California. They relocated here. They're starting their family. So excited for their 2 kids and their dog, Charlie, or whatever it is. But have it be personal, and then they want to repost it. So they want to repost it. Now all of a sudden you're going to get more followers. I'm almost done. Use content across multiple platforms. Okay, you guys kind of sold this. Allie, will you come here for a sec really quick, and like we'll just go through this really quick. So I've had a hard time like taking content. Tina brought this up. We brought this up. Like once you do something, you got to get it out multiple times. So we now have a system. Allie helps me. Say hi to Allie.
Hello.
So just real quick, our system, once I create something, we'll put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we schedule it out, and you use Facebook to schedule it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can use, like Planoly, Later, all of those things. What is just the most helpful for me is I just use the free Meta Business Suite. Anytime you have a Facebook business page, you will get Meta Business with it.
You guys don't have an Allie though. Finally, it took me a long time to get an Allie. So now I have Allie that helps me, but I used to time block every week 2 hours at least and use Planoly, and I'd plan my content and I'd post it, right? So then you're planning it. And then some of it is spontaneous and you put the spontaneous stuff in there. But if you don't have somebody, you can do that yourself. Okay.
Yeah. So we just basically, Kelly is very, very random. Like she was saying, she'll pull over on the road, do videos. We just
Random.
love her.
Random.
She's very random. And then she'll just text me them, and then basically we just have a system down now. She just gets an idea and she's got to do it right now, which works for her. But otherwise you can do whatever you would like. And then basically just Facebook, Instagram, if it's a video.
So then you have your list, and then you repost. So we post on Facebook,
Instagram.
LinkedIn, guys. I use LinkedIn too. Like if you were at an open house, it's pretty creepy to like friend someone on Facebook, right? But I'll find out their name, and I don't do a lot of opens anymore, but I'd find out their name every time and I LinkedIn them, right? That's not as creepy. So a lot of stuff, not everything we repost on LinkedIn. What are our rules for LinkedIn?
So it just kind of depends upon if it's a property, you only like specific price points on there. But pretty much anything.
So I like higher price point homes on there, but I'll say this about LinkedIn. What are they laughing about?
For a galvanizer over here.
What? Say it again.
Nothing. Go.
Okay, someone else there. Okay, but just really quick, and then I'll wrap up. But for LinkedIn, we try to do different things. They're expecting business, a lot more personal. We'll post personal stuff, pictures of us. So we try to do a little bit different, not homes necessarily for sale. Okay.
And then we'd also do a lot of videos on LinkedIn. Granted, some things can't go on whatever. But otherwise, TikTok,
And
YouTube Shorts, Google My Business.
And Google My Business.
For
We put it
SEO.
all out. Yep. And then I would say that it's helped me with SEO in the last year or so. Just like somebody searched me on the web and then they found me. I'm like, so it's really helped. I don't pay for SEO stuff, but doing all this stuff has really helped. Okay, did anyone get anything helpful? I hope so. Thank you.
Love it.
Any questions quickly? Yes. Questions.
I have a question. First of all, text me your outfit where you got it from. It's so cute.
Oh, what is this? Good American? It might be Good American.
Oh,
Okay.
so cute. She's always looks so cute.
Kelly,
I like
what
it.
hashtags do you use and how many do you use?
What
Hashtag?
hashtag?
Yeah, how many and which ones?
We're not huge on hashtags. I think we used to be, and I've switched that. I used to have like 30 and we copy and pasted and change them around. Like we're not all into do we not do a lot of hashtags? Like sometimes I'll do it as, hashtag girl gang, hashtag, I don't know. We don't do a whole lot of it, do we anymore?
My secret is that when you're posting a reel, you put it on Instagram, and then I put it in ChatGPT is what I did, and basically Kelly is exclusively a listing or a seller's agent, so she just I don't even know, give me 30 keywords or
You do
SEO
that every
words.
time.
No, I have a list now. SEO words for sellers in Maple Grove, Plymouth, Wayzata schools. Or looking to empty nesters or something like that, real estate, and it'll just spit you out a bunch of different words. You can just put
So
in
did
what-
she say she
Chat
video in ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
No,
Or
she puts a
ChatGPT.
description of the video in ChatGPT. To get the hashtags.
Get the hashtags.
And it's
Yeah.
not, I don't even do hashtags. It's just like real estate agent
Okay.
at Wayzata school. Like it just gives me a bunch of things, and I copy that right onto my reel or Kelly's reel, and then I scrunch it down and I drag it to the bottom because it's still in your reel, and it's just hidden SEO words that will just pull from that. If that makes sense.
Hey, Kelly, you've been in the business for 6 years or 7? Or
9.
9? Okay, 9 years. And you really started double down, like really going in all in, like what, 5 years ago?
With social media?
Yeah. I know you've always done it, but I mean, really heavy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And Allie's been with me 2 years now. So now, we dedicate. Yeah.
And the thing that I love is like people think that you have to make these really creative videos. You see like all these influencers now and these creatives, and all they do all day is make these creative, crazy videos. And yours are just raw and authentic. And she sells 100 homes yourself a year, like personally, right?
No, like
Ish.
60. The team, we're at 200 this year. We just hit 100 million. But yeah, now I do about 60 only listings.
Which is a lot. And have you guys followed her? Do you know how many followers she has? 25,000. What's another guess? What's a guess? 100,000 followers? 50,000. How many followers do you have?
That's so awesome. I love that question. I only have almost 13,000. And I will just say this, that is actually a big number. I love that you guys think I had more, but it's a big number. But when I had 5,000, it's quality people in this area, like that see you. I feel like it's quality over quantity. So I wouldn't get hooked up on the whole number. I know like a lot of the other things for YouTube that have been talked about today, it is a numbers thing. So yes, we all want more, but you can do a lot with 1,000 followers and build that up.
And that was the point. It's like, I think when people see you, they're like, oh, she must have 100,000, 25, 30. It's 13,000, which is a lot, but you have like tuned into your town, and like that's where you want your followers, and that's what's so beautiful about it. And it works, obviously. It works really well. What other questions do you guys have for Kelly? Any questions? Instagram, daily, any in the chat? I think we're good.
Yay.
Thanks for
Okay.
having me on. Thank you. Talk to you later.
You're amazing. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay.